Hello and welcome back to the Gridiron Gentleman podcast. That's the wrong
So
podcast.
close.
We're off to a flying start. Too much time on our hands podcast. That's the one we're doing this time. Welcome back, all you Kens, Barbies, even the Allens, Midges, and Skippers. We are talking about toys again. Not little miniatures for once, not Games Workshop stuff, but we're talking about actual toys. Based heavily on the fact that Barbie's been quite successful, we are going to talk about toys we would like to see turned into TV series or movies.
Yeah, Barbie's been very successful by the sounds of it. It's been if you filter out
cleaning up
reviews by angry pricks on the internet, it sounds like it's actually being very well received.
It's here's the thing, right? It's not like super. I don't understand people that are going to see it and are getting annoyed because it's a bit feminist. Because, I mean, it deals with male problems as well, like supreme depression and like how to feel more valued. Yeah. It's just a really fucking good film. Anyway, we'll get into that in a second.
I don't think you need to try and understand those people.
It's just a fucking joke. Basically, the problem is women are powerful in it, and that seems to be the issue. So, anyway, talk about toys.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Toys. I don't have much, so we might stray into some other potential like things we'd like to see turned into TV series and films as well.
Wander off on a weird tangent. That's literally never ever happened.
It's never happened.
Right. So I was thinking about this. Yeah. A lot of toys actually. Hello, Dan. Hi, Russ.
Hi, Russ.
Hello.
Everyone wave. That's what they came for.
Fuck the waving. I don't give a fuck.
Dan's frozen in basically his cum face.
Have I really? Have I frozen? Shit.
On my screen. You have.
You're fine.
Okay, cool.
A lot of toys come from TV series.
That's the issue, isn't it?
Yeah, I'm afraid. Yeah, Transformers not a viable option.
I've got a couple of choices though for this one.
Yeah,
and I'm hoping chat, the one person that's currently watching, will pipe up as well with some ideas.
I mean, I feel like Russ and I might have a bit of an advantage because having children and house probably completely chocker full of toys.
Yeah, but I think you still got to kind of. It takes a lot for something to be,
worthwhile.
A marketable, franchisable opportunity. So
this was actually quite a difficult one to do. I have got 3.
There are fewer than you might expect, like movie series based on toys. So obviously you've got Barbie, Transformers, Lego Movie, a bunch of
Pokemon.
You got your G.I. Joe. You got a bunch of like straight to DVD type stuff as well. So
you got battleships as well.
Yeah, that one was a stretch.
Didn't they do one called Clue as well?
They did, yeah. It's a great film, that.
Yeah, I mean that one actually works quite well. I mean, like
Are we including board games then?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
Absolutely. I choose Firefly, the board game. It's absolutely board games, toys, all kinds of stuff like that. So, I mean, basically, we are putting ourselves in the boots of movie execs for like Warner Brothers or whatever company's going to make these films.
We are like the development wing of the Mattel Hasbro cinematic universe. So we need to come up with the next Transformers 6-film franchise.
First thing I'm going to do is make sure I pay everyone, like script writers and actors, what they and then
That's a good idea.
That concludes this evening's virtue signalling.
I don't know. I don't know.
No, sorry,
so like,
if we actually had any remote saying that sort of thing.
I don't really understand virtue signalling either.
Quick mention. Rush, surely it should be Spall Kennedy.
I mean, obviously it should, yes. And if I was clever like you, it would be, wouldn't it?
So can I talk about the Barbie movie a little bit?
Please do.
Who thought that would be a sentence that would be said on this podcast? It's fucking brilliant. It might be. There's about 2-3 films that are vying for my favourite film of the year, and that is up there. This one, Across the Spider-Verse, is another one as well. Really like that one. And I saw a great horror film called Talk to Me. That was really good as well. So, but this one is the one that stuck with me the most, which makes me think, well, maybe it is. I can't stop thinking about this fucking film to the point where I went to see it again today.
I mean, that's a pretty good. Like,
That is
review,
quite an
really, isn't it?
indicator that you love it.
I went to see Ninja Turtles and basically had the thought, while I'm here, might as well go see
Is
the
the
Barbie
Turtles
movie
movie
as well.
out now?
Yeah,
That looks really good.
it's fucking incredible. If it wasn't for the fact that Across the Spider-Verse exists, I'd probably be thinking like a lot higher.
Yeah, anyone who's releasing an animated movie in the same summer as Spider-Verse, you've just taken a massive kick to the balls before you even begin. Like that, it is not fair, really.
No, but it's really good, really good. But yeah, I went with a friend and we were like, "Should we go see the Barbie film again?" Yeah, let's go see the Barbie film again.
Excellent.
It's amazing. Soundtrack's great. The plot's brilliant. It's well acted. There's a very good chance that it'll clean up at the Oscars. I think actually. I think I'd be surprised if it doesn't get Best Song for starters for the "I'm Just Ken" song, and probably Ryan Gosling's like a supporting actor role. It depends if like he's technically a supporting actor. So is he a supporting actor or is he a lead actor?
There's no real. It's like the difference between a ship and a boat. There's not like a hard line, is there? And they do sometimes tactically nominate people for supporting or lead, depending on what they think they're going to win better.
If you put him up against Cillian Murphy or Cillian Murphy, he's probably going to lose because I mean his Oppenheimer's a good film.
Also, it is 100 million times more Oscar baity than.
I don't know, man. I genuinely don't know.
I'm not saying that Barbie, but like if you just look at what sort of films Oscar committee, what they call the Academy, likes, it's mainly films about making films. Can't get enough of that. But if it's not that, it's big, weighty, serious things. So
I'm saying that the Barbie film is weightier than people think it is, and I think enough people have seen that now to go. Actually, this is.
Isn't Oppenheimer mainly about sex anyway?
It's about his communist girlfriend and how he misses her, basically. No, it's about a guy, and Dan, I don't know whether he's watching, described it best. It's about the meme of Robert Oppenheimer going, "I can build a real great bomb." Oh no, I built a real great bomb. Then just Robert Oppenheimer is a fucking idiot. But
is it basically last podcast memes on Instagram where they got? Oh,
if for some reason you're deciding between seeing a 3-hour film and 12 hours of podcast, I'd go for the 12 hours of podcast because that's the best thing they've done, in my opinion. That their Manhattan Project's coverage is fucking phenomenal, and it's the film does a really good job. I think just going to films I've seen now, like Oppenheimer does a really good job of covering all the bases. My biggest gripe is that it doesn't lean in hard enough in one direction. Either I want to feel really sorry for him that he was duped into making this bomb for the US government by genuinely believing they weren't going to use it, which is fucking hilarious, really, when you think about it. Or I want him to be the bad guy of the film, because he invented the atomic bomb, which is.
Yeah, but the thing
He's
about
not
the
a
Manhattan,
good person.
the thing about the Manhattan Project series is he's the lead scientist in a way, but they don't really talk about him as much. He's not the main reason the bomb got made because he was just the one that could sort of put together all the theories that were out there, basically all the publications, get the scientists in to do it, rather than, because we know that he was only in charge of Los Alamos, but there were at least three other sites working on it.
The Chicago Pile experiment sounds fucking bonkers.
I fucking love that. There's also the Devil Core, which wasn't at Los Alamos, and
that was with Flathead, right? The story of Flathead. And everyone kept saying, "You've got to stop using that screwdriver." It's going to get you
Stupid.
killed.
And it got it killed.
He got him killed. Yeah, in a horrendous way. Yeah.
Anyway, I saw Elemental.
Good.
It's all right. Actually, it's quite a nice movie. It is a nice movie. Admittedly, I nearly teared up during it because it's got some totes of motion bits, and I think it's a nice way. I actually probably not saying nice way. It was a clever way of covering issues of segregation and actually racism, and they did it. It was kind of a bit of a Romeo and Juliet, but without the suicide at the end. And it's like elements, these different parts you cannot mix, and it's very much Firetown is segregated and away, and going, you can't see him, you can't see her, she's from, or you can't see Water Guy. Elements are meant to mix, and like a family member going, "Oh, you speak really clearly," to the fire girl, and you're like, okay, yeah, that's because I'm from here. It's amazing what happened. So there's some really nice, clever bits. It's a beautiful little film. I enjoyed it. It's not going to. I won't even say it's my film of the year because if we get to go to cinema again, which I'm hoping to, because Philip's kind of getting into it, which is really nice. I'm surprised he didn't want to go and see Spider-Man, to be honest. Like, Spider-Man movie.
It's incredible.
Cartoon.
It is fucking phenomenal. It is. I've been blessed with every film I've seen so far this summer. Has been I've enjoyed.
We went to see. No, we didn't went. We downloaded and watched Super Mario Brothers.
Are you good? I didn't see that.
I enjoyed it. The soundtrack is really good. Jack Black is very good at fun in it, and it ticks a lot of nice little fan boxes without overly going for the fan boxes. It is good. It is good fun. The fact that you get Beastie Boys at the very beginning, you're like, yeah, it just, the soundtrack is very good. It's very nicely done. So anyway, but leading that is, we've got Barbie, just talked about another one, which is Turtles and Super Mario Brothers. Let's go further into film.
Barbie's going to smash records as well. So like that's worth mentioning, that Barbie's going to have. It's been there for 2 weeks, and when I went in the cinema today, I struggled to find seats. It is still just filling cinemas, and the more you look back at it, like when Oppenheimer and Barbie came out, I had to park around the corner from the cinema because there weren't any parking spaces.
Yeah,
and I love it. I love stuff like that because I just love seeing cinema do well. It's. I have loads of hobbies. I don't know who I'm kidding. But like going to the cinema is my favourite way of relaxing, and yeah, so like seeing cinemas do well, especially when the films are actually good and there's a good chance that people are actually going to go in and see something that's going to make them potentially think differently in a very good way.
It was a bit touch and go for a while. Sort of the concept of cinema
post-COVID.
Yeah,
definitely. Like,
I think it took longer to bounce back than people were expecting.
Well, everyone thought it was going to be Tenet, but it then turned out to be Top Gun Maverick. Barbie's this year's Top Gun Maverick. I'll let that sink in. Let me put it that way. Like, it's genuinely, there is Top Gun Maverick vibes to like how well it's doing, not with the actual film itself. They're very, very different, but it's that similar kind of, this film's doing really well and it's actually really good as well. So yeah. So we're watching this monumental rise of Barbie. We are heads of cinemas, heads of film production companies. We are assuming we've just paid actors, writers, people that work on films a fair wage as well. We've not chopped down the tree they were using as shade.
That was a dick move, wasn't it?
Like fucking Warner Brothers did, the fucking cunts.
It's not even their tree to chop down.
It wasn't even their tree to chop down, exactly, yeah. We are now moving ahead and we are buying up every toy property we can possibly lay our hands on. Where are we starting?
I'm going to open big. I'm going to say Hot Wheels.
So Hot Wheels is in production, I believe. Last time I checked, I had that up because that was one of my thoughts as well.
Okay, well, I know that it's already a TV series. The first series, it's on Amazon Prime, and season 2 not as good as season one. The animation of season one is stop animation, and it's
Okay.
hilarious.
I'm talking about they are making, directed by J.J. Abrams. It's described here as a script that is emotional, grounded, and gritty. Hot Wheels film.
It would have been so good as a full-length stop animation film.
Yeah, I'm with you. That's a
season-
fucking great idea.
Season one is brilliant. It's got giant scorpion, gorilla. It's got a mad scientist in it. It's got all the loops. It's hilarious, and it's got news. It's actually got what we used to do, going news. They've got news.
Does anyone fall down the rabbit hole of that guy who has like a track set up for his toy cars, and he sees how far each car gets, and he puts them against each other in competitions? It's like he'll set the track up
I
in
think
different
I
ways.
have seen that one.
I've lost like half an hour to that before.
There's some
yeah.
quite good ones where people get like 20 of them and put
Yeah.
them down a dry water slide,
Yeah,
and there's like one of them's got a GoPro strapped to it, and that's genuinely exciting.
I'm
That's why I watch
saying
instead
that,
of F1 these days.
it's more exciting than F1 because Max Verstappen's a whiny little bitch anyway. So like, and and also just it's not. He's just going to win everything as well, whilst being incredibly whiny. So yeah, I would like to see that. Well, that can I tie mine into that? My first one into that. It's a
Go
fairly
for it.
obvious one as well. Micro Machines.
Yeah, that also
They're like-
crossed mind.
Yeah, particularly like loosely based on the game. So like you've got these small cars like driving around these small like tournaments, and the whole thing set in like one house. And like you can do it like the Lego film where someone's actually moving them around, but according to them, they're actually like driving these little cars around.
Yeah,
like
so would
gardens
you
and stuff like that?
it would be like set in the real world,
Yeah,
but everything huge. Use the same technique they used for Ant-Man to get like massive perspective on things.
yeah. When I'm putting it to the execs, I'm saying we're going Borrowers and Ant-Man meets Days
Lego
of
Man.
Thunder. Yeah,
Oh yeah,
yeah, that kind of thing.
So
But
are
yeah,
you
it's a-
going to have, for both of these franchises,
Yeah.
are there characters that get in these cars, or are the cars the characters?
Characters get in the cars. I find cars quite distracting. Like the movie cars are quite distracting. So
The
for Hot
the
Wheels,
Cars
it definitely-
movie universe just raises so many questions
Hmm.
that it gets distracting. Yeah.
yeah, exactly. Yeah,
I was did cheat 'cause there is already a TV series, but as a movie, it would work really well with just people getting in the cars because it makes sense. Like you've got Hot Wheels City is a actual toy line anyway, and the other thing about Hot Wheels is monster trucks. Just gonna be monster trucks everywhere.
Lots of
monster
loops.
trucks off road. Let's off road. Lots of metal. Gonna be lots of rock. Yeah.
I think Duncan needs to see the Barbie movie. I'm not going to lie. I think
I have listened to some of the soundtrack. It is very good.
it's really
It's
good.
I like the Charlie XCX song. Like, hey, Bobby, you're so fine. Like, yeah, okay, I could get into this.
I think Hot Wheels, you got to have like lots of loops and stuff, like lots of really dangerous loops. Like, are they going to make it? Are they going to make it? And like you've got the new guy who's entering the Hot Wheels tournament, and he's got to like practice doing the loops. And like you see the first time he makes it, is that like this one like loop takes forever, and you see the wheels start to lift off, and you think he's going to fall off, but then he just kind of like puts the pedal to the metal, and then just like powers around this loop.
You just need to watch the TV series. It is the first
I'm
season.
going to
is
tell
awesome.
you, I'm not going to watch it
Oh, you should.
right now.
There's
I'm
some
going
very
to
funny
say
bits.
right here, right now, never going to happen. Never going to watch it.
I am worried that J.J. Abrams is.
So the thing with J.J. Abrams is the first thing he usually does in whatever series he does, he generally does a good job.
Yeah,
The first one is
I think
good.
he should
Yeah.
he should be seen as the specialist at taking something that people have fond memories of and bringing it up to date and making it look good without upsetting anyone.
Yeah,
And then stop.
Yeah.
And go and do the next one.
totally agree. Totally agree.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think I have faith that this Hot Wheels
So
film.
it's actually made. All right, well, I've been gazumped.
But no, I don't think you have. I think you're right. I think you do the whole thing stop motion.
That's so
And
nice.
you make it more about like toys, like actual toys, rather than. I think you take it seriously, but you also accept that like these are toy tracks with like lots of
Yeah.
loops.
You could really lean into like the sort of the sense of scale with stop motion as well. Get a real
Yeah.
like shallow depth of field, make them look like miniature things in a gigantic world. Could look really good.
Absolutely. But only the racing stop motion. The rest is like all in black and white. I don't know. Just the rest is all incredibly gritty. It's like Raging Bull. But yeah, these people risking their lives in the Hot Wheels tournament.
Yeah, well, there's also mad scientists who work quite well. Got a car eating shark. It's good.
Yeah, I think you can put all the slightly crazier cars in this as well. And then I think you've got
Like
to
the toilet
100.
car.
There you go. Then you got to 100% lean into it and take it seriously as well. So like it's nothing's in there as like a joke. It's all like what makes Marvel so good is that they're not taking the piss out of themselves. There's like the original X-Men films, for example. What I don't like about them personally is that they take the piss out of themselves a bit too much, like, and not in like a hey, isn't this kind of funny kind of way? In like a we're not actually taking it seriously, so I can get another job if that's okay after this. Like it's the whole like, what are you expecting? Yellow spandex, and it's like, yes, actually I was expecting that. That's what I wanted. And then the newer Marvel films have been like, fuck it, let's put MODOK in there. Why not? Like, why not just absolutely just completely go batshit crazy with this stuff? And sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. But the one thing you can always say is they take what they're doing seriously. Like Guardians of the Galaxy 3 is frankly ridiculous at places, but it's heartwarming, it's heartfelt, and it's heartbreaking because it takes it entirely seriously. And so I think with anything like this, you've got to say, one of the reasons why J.J. Abrams probably is a really good director for this is because he will take it seriously. He won't try and like, I mean, what he did with Star Trek, the first Star Trek film, is exactly probably what the franchise needed at the time. So,
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm all for it. Yeah. Take it seriously. Lean in. Whatever we're saying here, take it seriously.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Russ.
Okay, right. So I'm going for my first. This is not a movie I'd want to see, but if you're looking at like multi-film franchise potential, I think you could go on for fucking years with this. Sylvanian Families,
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's what I was thinking of as well.
because it's like ready to go. You could get some cheap ass CGI animation in there. You could be knocking these things out for Netflix like one a month, no problem.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think this is not going to be winning any awards or anything, but you could definitely, if you want something quick and cheap to churn out, you could definitely do like endless Sylvanian Families adventures,
Yeah,
really easily.
100%. I mean, you could even
Probably
get a
just
movie out of it.
take like the Tinkerbell movies that are on there already and just change all the character models and change the voices. And it'd probably just work fine.
Now I'm thinking you go serious with it. I'm leaning it like
Like
you're
Mike
there
Leigh
going,
drama type stuff.
This you're there like, okay, this is cheap, quick, make
Sylvanian
ton of
Families
bank.
Noir.
No, I'm going. No, we're getting the director of Paddington in to do this because he's currently doing the Wonka film, which actually I think looks quite good.
Yeah, we enjoyed the
like
trailers.
sort of grudgingly admitting that I didn't really want backstory for Willy Wonka.
No, same.
But it does look quite good, really, doesn't it?
Yeah, someone filmed in St Albans as well, like around the lake. So that's always nice.
Did the giant duck appear?
Little joke from me, Duncan and Russ there. Thank you, Duncan. Just I've something I haven't heard in 20 years, in fact. So for a second I had to like have my eyes roll into the back of my head and try and figure out what it was. But yeah, we got there eventually.
It wasn't that big.
Here's the thing, right? Once again, we could explain that to everyone and no one would find that funny. So like,
I find it funny. I don't care about anyone else.
okay, so this Some of it was filmed in the lake. Looks very different. We've got Hugh Grant as a Loompa Loompa in that as well. So why not just lean into it? Get Olivia Colman doing 50 of the voices in this, whatever it is, as well. So
Yep.
like Olivia Colman and what's her face from all the other British dramas. Who's the lady that's in like everything? British dramas wise, I can't remember her name. Is it
Olivia
Saran
Colman, really, isn't it?
Jones? Is that right?
I mean, Sylvanian Families could just be a bit like, if you did that, it'd be a cross between Little Women and maybe Little House on the Prairie and, what was it? Thingy to Candleford. Lark Rise to Candleford.
Yeah, or you could do
Series.
like Downton, but with like Sylvanian families.
Yeah.
Like that kind of thing. That'd be good.
Yeah, really examine like class dynamics and sort of interspecies tensions.
Amongst the Sylvanian families. Yeah.
And then you could do a spin-off which was Sylvanian Families Noir, where it's a brutal murder has occurred and then you can't get the police.
Sylvanian families in the city, and you follow like a group of foxes around. Just like trying to survive basically on scraps.
Get me fucking bins.
Yeah. Have you guys seen the trailer for that film Strays? About
Not yet.
the dogs?
Oh
Well,
yeah, is this like a sort of like a piss take of like the what's it called, The Incredible Journey or whatever?
Yeah, absolutely is. Yeah. So like
the dog's trying to
got-
get home, but nobody actually wants him.
Yeah, he's trying to get home in the end to bite his owner's dick off. So like, it's. I know Will Ferrell and Jamie Foxx are doing some of the voices, and there's like some like stereotypical dog bits that are actually genuinely quite funny in it. So they all get drunk, and there's a bit where they walk past one of their reflections, going, "Look at this motherfucker staring at me." They hump gnomes. It looks so stupid, but looks so good at the same time. I can't wait for that film.
Yeah,
But yeah,
Made me
Sylvanian
think of,
families, but like yeah.
Team America.
Yeah.
Weirdly, the sort of
Yeah, yeah.
let's do a sort of slightly horrible version of something beloved by
Well,
children.
actually, that segues nicely into talking of.
Oh, seamless.
Well, it will be because Playmobil, like Playmobil World, is
They
huge.
did do a film of it, didn't they?
Yeah, but it was like straight to Netflix. There are
Yeah,
some Playmobil.
Was it sort of rushed out quickly after the Lego Movie? It was a huge
I
success.
Yeah.
think some of the films we can talk about here
Playmobil
could already have had films, just not very good ones that we want to.
Playmobil could be really good because it's such a diverse. It's got cities, it's got zoos, but you know the police
It's
one,
got everything: cities, zoos. That's
farms,
That's everything.
everything. Like
Where have you ever been anywhere in your life that wasn't a city or a zoo? No, you haven't, have you? Because there isn't anywhere else.
Dan Ross is such an ass.
It's quite funny though. I quite enjoy it.
Yeah. Well, they were pushing Playmobil City again. Playmobil City. This is the one thing with cities. Anyway, they got the police. You know, you could actually have a proper Playmobil crime drama because they've got the police helicopters, they've got all the K squads. You know, there's the bit where they even have the removable wall so you can get the guy out of prison. A
Yeah.
jailbreak. Yes, obviously you got the farmyard stuff. You got the outdoor.
Obviously, the farmyard stuff's right. You do not help yourself.
No, you've got the castles as well. You've got the whole Fantasyland, Playmobil Fantasy.
You could do a lot with Playmobil.
You could.
This is true.
You could even actually do Playmobil Dharma Party, and that would be really grim.
Like, just gradually, like ripping like arms off and stuff.
Well, yeah, I mean, well, actually, the arms don't come off, do they? You just break the model,
Yeah.
and it doesn't
Yeah.
really work.
No, I think it's a good idea. I think Playmobil is a good idea. I think you have to lean into the idea of like just several jokes about how like you can get the rights to Lego as well throughout the whole film as well. Just being like, yeah, no, we're just Playmobil. But then you do that thing where the Playmobil film comes the worthy, enjoyable film over like the Lego movies. The problem they've got, of course, is that the Lego movies were fucking phenomenal. So, but
They
it's-
were. But you would again probably do it in the same vein as the Lego movie and the Micro Machines movie that we've just also signed off on, which is
Yeah.
you would set it in the real world.
absolutely.
But maybe slightly different, very slightly different plot. I mean, it would have to be a different plot. It wouldn't just have to be a absent father who doesn't understand and want to play. It'd be, I don't know. But I think Playmobil would work well in the same vein as Sylvanian Families, and that's actually essentially the three I had lined up.
I don't think I've got much more, to be honest with you.
I mean, the other one that would be difficult would be Brio, the Brio train sets. And that is actually another actually quite extensive world because they've got cities and zoos and shit.
Yeah.
But yeah, you're basically going to end up with Thomas the Tank Engine, though, aren't you?
That's the problem.
Yeah. So another company has bought the rights to a Matchbox movie as well, which is slightly crazy. They're going like all in on toys by the looks of things. Okay, I'm just.
Well,
looking
you might as
now.
well do Tonka as well and just have a massive construction yard movie.
I've got a suitable for children horror film. Potentially.
Okay, I've got two children who would very much watch this.
The movie is Boglins.
Yes, that was the other one. Boglins are fucking phenomenal.
Yeah. So you have these toys that are shipped in like the boxes that the Boglin boxes are used to get them in. And they've each got different personalities whilst looking very similar. Like with shifty eyes that look around like that, because that's one of the things you could do with the Boglins. And it's about Boglins just kind of running riot around a house. And like while being told specifically, like, so maybe it's like a traveling businessman or something, and he's down on his luck and he's trying to find something that's going to sell. So someone sells him these Boglins, right? But he has to go away for the weekend, so the kid's told specifically, don't go in his study, and don't let the Boglins loose. And like the Boglins you could have as like being like super cutesy, super convincing, and then eventually the kid lets them loose, and then it's about like this group of kids having to shepherd the Boglins back into the boxes.
My sister had one, and she had the lobster one.
I had one as well. They were fucking
wee
awesome.
one.
They were pretty cool, weren't they?
The texture of them was great.
Then they actually did a whole collection series, the mini Boglins.
Yep.
Which I know we were talking about in a different WhatsApp group at one point, but we had the mini Boglins as well, which were quite fun. I actually think you could do that like that. It'd be sort of like inspired by Gremlin. I kind of thought a Boglins movie wouldn't be that dissimilar to Gremlins in some ways.
Apparently, Mattel recently bought back the rights to Boglins simply for the possibility that they're trying to make a film out of it.
Yeah,
that'd be so good.
So, like, they say they want it to be Gremlins with a twist, and several filmmakers have expressed interest in making it.
I did like Boglins. That was very
me
good.
too. Boglins is a great choice, I think.
Yeah, definitely. Like that legit actually could work.
Yeah, definitely. Any more for any more?
So I've got one that's probably a bit more challenging.
Mm-hmm. Dildos.
What is like the quintessential toy, the proto toy? So it's going to have to be a real true visionary director who's going to be able to do this. And the movie is just called Ball. And this is to be filmed entirely without any form of CGI or visual effects whatsoever. It's in black and white, and it's just a ball.
How are we making money off this one, Russ?
See, that's the sort of commercial interfering, sort of studio nitpicking that is going to get in the way of this creative vision becoming a reality.
Oh, so this is more like a small independent art show.
This is like A24 picking this one up, right?
Yeah. So this needs to be some pretentious art house douchebag doing this one.
Well, even Studio Canal would do that.
That is I hate that. Like, just because something's small in art house doesn't mean it's made by a fucking douchebye.
No, I know, but this one specifically should be.
Yeah.
Because I just want to see the director's commentary on someone trying to explain how this is actually.
Ari Aster presents Ball.
Mm-hmm.
The final film in his series from Hereditary, Midsummer, Beau Was Afraid, now Ball.
I imagine it's basically the little bit from Everything Everywhere All at Once where they're rocks, but it's that
Yeah.
for a whole movie. Except without the crutch of googly eyes.
I could make something from this. So like,
I would have it as a relationship between its relationship to other balls.
so here's how I make this film, right?
How it deals with the
it's
abandonment.
Sports Direct, right? Or a equivalent shop, yeah.
Yeah.
And someone accidentally knocks a ball out of the ball box they've got at Sports Direct, and it bounces out. And some kids pick it up, they go and play with it, they kick it over the fence of someone, and then they're too scared to go get the ball back, so they go play something else. And the ball is the central hero of our story here, where so then he kicks over there, two people pick it up, and you find the story of everyone that picks up the ball and starts playing with the ball for whatever reason. So they take the ball to the park, for example. They're called away, they leave it there, it's picked up by a group of people playing football, and you find out the story about one of them having issues with their mum or something like that, or like a marriage that's on the rocks. So then they kick the ball then just goes over the hedge, is then picked up by like another group talking about like how they really want the job that they're going for at the moment, and it's like the ball follows the stories of the people that pick it up
But
until eventually,
you're missing some very cool bits here. You actually have also the fact that the life of the ball, which is if it's with the kids, it gets kicked around the garden, and then you have a shot of it just abandoned in the corner with the rain coming down. Then you could really get the monochrome of it like it's crying.
Oh, that'd be
because
cool.
It's just
So it doesn't take place over like a day or two. It takes place over like years, where it's just left on its own, and someone finds.
They've got the whole story. It ends up. So we picked up. This is true. We picked up a football off the beach.
Yeah.
It was still perfectly all right. Had a few chunks out of it, but it also seemed washed in on the tide. So you've basically got a bit where it ends up in the river and goes out to sea.
Yeah.
All stormy, looks scary, gets washed up, and it looks like it's abandoned. It's been pecked. It's got holes in it.
In what? Oh, pecked. Okay,
Pecked.
cool. I thought it was going for a very different film.
No,
for
no.
a second.
And then it washes up, and then a child finds it at the end, and it's just like the joy of finding a ball, and then they take it away, and it's a
But here's
young
the thing.
child.
The child is the son or daughter
Of
of
the
the
one,
person that initially lost the ball.
Nice. See?
Ball writes its
Ball.
fucking self, and we've just won an Oscar, and you're gonna see that.
high
Yeah.
fives all round, everyone.
Well done, us.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Well done,
Ball.
Russ.
There we go.
Executive producer.
Sequel
Right
is
there.
balls.
Yeah. And that's just a trashy teen comedy.
Yeah. And the reason, and he brings the ball back, and there'll be like a marking on it that he put, and maybe he just like split up with his wife or something. It says like his initials for whoever he was in love with, initials, and then he goes and like contacts that person, and they end up back together again because of ball.
Yeah. I actually don't think we can beat that.
That's fucking great.
It's a really good film. I would go and see that.
I mean, it would. I mean, I'm not being funny. If there are any ad execs watching this, that is an advert right there, like a Super Bowl advert. That one. You're welcome, except we'd like some money for it now, please. Also, tonight, brought to you by Corsair, making my gaming chair here. So, want to give us some money? That would be great.
I mean, tonight I've been drinking Bud Zero. But
I'm speaking to my Audio Technica mic, so you know. Actually, I wouldn't mind some Audio Technica stuff if that's the right. Turntable, speakers, headphones, more microphones. Yeah,
I feel like
That'd be
that's
great, actually.
unlikely to materialise, but you know, you put it out there in the universe, you never know what.
exactly.
I mean, there would be a whole series of toys. Ones like because you could also do
Bat.
bike. Well, bike.
Diablo.
Yeah, but that's just a toy That's essentially a toy ending up in the attic and not being used for like.
Sadly, yeah. Poi.
Yeah.
Don't know where
There's
my
just a
toy are.
collection of films where people play with something for half an hour and they go, fuck it, and then put it away forever and never touch it again.
Jigsaw. There was a film called Jigsaw, but it's not about that.
Yeah. I mean, there is.
You could do like a film with like fucking Maggie Smith and who's the fucking Penelope? What's her name? Who was in
Wilton.
Shaun of the Dead? Huh? Yeah, and like all of them, and it's like this jigsaw that they've been doing for the last 40 years, and like how their lives have changed over the 40 years, and like it goes to flashbacks and stuff like that as well.
Isn't that basically Best Exotic Marigold Hotel?
Probably. I don't know. I've never watched that shit. So like, just except one of them Statham doing this jigsaw with them, and so like every now and then it's
pretty
the
much
story
any
of like,
film pitch can be improved by at some point, pretty much randomly, saying the words, but one of them is Statham.
So one of them's like set up a choir in the last 40 years. One of them's like got promoted in their supermarket jobs, and one of them's a
Jason Statham.
Jason Statham, who's been out punching people for the last 40 years. Still looks the same. And like every flashback, whether it goes to like him as a kid, or whether it's him at 20, or him at 60, or him at 80, he's still the same Jason Statham throughout the whole thing. Jigsaw. Fucking Jigsaw. We started this jigsaw so long ago that I've forgotten why we even started it. He says to Susan Sarandon, their American friend. Yeah, I just wrote Jigsaw there. I had one for Mantiforce, but
Yep.
I think you'd have to lean into everything that the toys do. So like each individual toy did something quite different and looked quite different. And I love the idea of it's the purple faction versus the blue faction or whatever it is, and like make it really silly with these giant ships and stuff. The problem with Mantiforce is it's actually a bit close to 40k, except less dark, obviously. So yeah. Sea Monkeys the movie. I don't know whether that's been done.
Well, they're not really toys. I kind of, whilst watching up, I was toying with that idea, but I thought, sea monkeys are technically your first pet,
Yeah,
like a first pet. You can't really do
that are treated like toys.
They are treated like toys
Yeah, which
because
is
they're just
sad, really.
brachiopods.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I had sea monkeys. I love my sea monkeys. They did really well. Lots of sea monkey sex going on.
It's just what that will never make the film.
I don't think that's what people are really here for, is it?
I mean, would you do Etch-a-Sketch?
I'd love
Like
to see
the
that.
only way that people communicated, again, we're just going down the ball route again, because it would just be like how people communicate, like leaving messages on Etch-a-Sketch or some
really,
cheap
really
knockoff.
brief, difficult to read messages.
Yeah. I mean,
Someone learning to read and write through Etch-a-Sketch.
there is a specific, what are they called? We've got a whale made by, there's this very specific company that makes models, but they're toys, but of like animals. They've got a whole range. I think they're French. My mind's gone completely blank.
Oh, you're talking
got
about the Sophie the Giraffe people?
No, not the Sophie the Giraffe, but they've got... No, because they're like realistic animal. You'll get them as... I'll find one. Oh, this is great.
He's actually
live
gone to look for a toy.
I'll tell you what. You look for the toy. We'll carry on. Okay.
I
I can't
mean,
remember who makes this, but it's like we got...
What are you holding up?
yeah,
What do you think I'm holding
the
up?
blurry filter really wasn't working in your favour there.
It just looked like a dildo.
It's a sperm whale.
Nice.
Okay. How are you
I
making
can't
a film
remember
of
who-
this?
Peppo. Oh, Papo. So there's a whole company that make these but they also actually do a range of monsters, and it's a very specific.
Are you trying
era.
to sell toys?
Yeah, they are trying to sell toys.
Are you trying to sell toys?
No, but they make this range that they do have this kind of fantasy realm toy range, which isn't quite D&D or stuff, but you do have this whole range. They do some really good dinosaurs. Obviously, the
So
whale.
is there something more to this than it's just a film about animals?
No, they've got this whole. We've got a knight. We've got like King Arthur.
Okay, so it could be
King
like a big
Arthur.
mishmash of everything going on.
Yeah, they've got castles. They've got knights. They've also got like ice monsters.
Okay, that's got like
Essentially
multi-film
like an ice
franchise potential.
elemental fire kind of troll type thing. So they've got this whole range of stuff that you could do something with that, but I don't think it'd be very exciting, to be honest.
Well, thanks for the last 10 minutes then, Duncan. If you don't think it's
You
going to
probably
be
shouldn't. You
exciting.
probably shouldn't end the pitch to the execs like that. I
Yeah,
don't
I
actually
probably
think it'd be
wouldn't
very
do that.
exciting, right?
That wouldn't be very exciting. It would be quite. Well, you could do it quite good because there are good guys. Oh, they do have a glow in the dark ghost. They do have like a whole spectral range. So you could. They do have this whole fantasy realm, which would be very cool because some of the models are really cool. Like the knights on the horses are very cool. It looks almost, in the old Bretonians in fantasy when
Like your classic heraldic knights.
yeah, and you've got some good ghouls, got some good spectres.
Good ghouls.
Always good, worthwhile.
Good
Oh, they've got some
I prefer Ghouls Gone Wild.
like they've got some good were people, like
Where?
lichens, not lichens. Yeah,
Werewolves. Is it?
werewolves
Yeah.
and like were tigers and stuff, or tiger people and stuff
Mm.
like that. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, cool.
Actually, that would work quite well. I need to find the catalogue. We've got a catalogue.
Jesus, don't get the catalogue, okay? Just.
I'm not going to get the
It's
catalogue.
just.
That has definitely got potential, hasn't it?
Yeah.
It's better than my only remaining suggestion, which was like those dudes that stick on windows and sort of flop down them.
I would watch that. I would watch that.
Well, there is another one which is like Gujitsu, which is these characters which
No,
are all
no,
stretchy
no.
and squidgy.
Where did you see that one, Duncan?
Gujitsu, it's an advert. They've got a whole.
2 in the Gujitsu, 1 in the. I'm not gonna
It
go
sounds
there.
like something you need to be very careful when searching for on the internet.
One. I'm going to go there. 1 in the Pujitsu.
Okay, well, I think we've got some pretty good.
Meccano.
Mm.
Meccano the movie.
It's like the Lego movie, except it's more difficult and you actually hurt yourself with it.
Yeah, 100%. You got spanners and shit. Yeah. There you go. Meccano the movie.
Meccano's, I mean, like, not to sound too old man, but Meccano's gone a bit rubbish now. It's like plastic and safe and stuff.
Yeah, no, it's almost impossible to not sound too old man with that sentence, to be honest with you. Like, of course it's gone safe. We only chopped our own fucking fingers off when we played Meccano
Yeah,
before.
you could make some genuinely dangerous stuff with Meccano.
Okay, so one other suggestion, this came from Brooke, who's been listening to the podcast. She suggested Polly Pocket.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Which I really like.
I kind of find it hard to believe that that's not already
A movie.
like it must be
It's in the works.
a series or something.
I mean, there's also Rainbow Unicorns. There's a whole thing of
So-
egg toys.
So with Polly Pocket, which we're going to talk about for a little bit before we move on to Rainbow Unicorns, Elena Dunham is attached to it, apparently.
Really? Oh, so they literally are doing it.
Yeah, but I love the idea of here's like you go into like these little worlds, like these contained worlds, like in a pocket, and someone like whether you have someone playing with them or not, I don't know. You could also do Mighty Max, which was like the
Boy version of it, wasn't it?
Yeah, and you could do like a crossover. There's no reason why you couldn't have Polly Pocket. You couldn't be a Polly Pocket film where she goes into the world of like Mighty Max and stuff as well. So that would be really cool. I think that's a really good idea, and I think that's been like brought forward a little bit since Barbie, because now everyone's. I would be surprised if no one's looking at Cindy, which was like the British equivalent, wasn't it?
No one's looking
Yeah.
at Cindy.
But I think you'd like. It sounds like anything they try to do is either going to be just such a ridiculous copy of Barbie, or is just going to be not remotely as good.
True. Some films are just uncopyable, aren't they? Like, we haven't seen like this just like mass wave of like flying films after Top Gun last year, have we? Like, isn't
Yeah, like if you were going to try and do it, broadly, it's not going to be as good. People won't like it as much, and it will cost more money than it's going to end up making.
Yeah, agreed. But yeah, what's Rainbow Unicorns? I don't even know what
Just
that is.
the worst thing ever. So it would make money because it would be everyone would be like, oh yeah, there's a bit of a cartoon series about it already as well. But I don't know,
Okay.
these cuddly toys coming out or something out of eggs and balls. It's another kind of enclosed world thing.
Do you want to know some things that I've got a list here of things that are actually in the works?
Yeah.
Okay.
So
yeah,
obviously
cool.
mentioned Hot Wheels. Rock'em Sock'em Robots. No updates apparently. This is on Gizmodo.
That's
by the way.
already been done. That's real steel.
Vin Diesel is attached.
Of course he is.
Yeah. Barney.
Oh no.
Never watched Barney.
Daniel Kaluuya though is working on the Barney movie, which is like amazing. Major Matt Mason. Tom Hanks is attached to this.
Not aware of that.
Astronaut toy adaptation. Masters of the Universe.
I mean, kind
They're
of
trying to
happened
get-
already, hasn't it? But
Yeah,
it
but they're
was
trying to get like a
rubbish.
new film together, basically. So,
But that was
Magic-
like, that doesn't count because that wasn't a toy first. I don't think.
yeah, I'm pretty certain it was, wasn't it?
I thought it was a cartoon first, and then they brought the toys out.
I think often these things were kind of simultaneous. Like they were developed
Yeah.
as a.
I
as
had a
package.
feeling it was like Transformers, where they had some toys and they needed to sell them.
Oh, maybe. Well, wasn't. I mean, essentially, wasn't the movie first?
No, the movie was way after like the TV series.
Oh yeah, it's quite. The
Yeah.
Transformers movie was quite long after.
No, not Transformers, Master of the Universe.
Yeah, no, yeah, okay. Master of the Universe movie was way after.
All right.
Yeah, because yeah, Magic 8 Ball.
Oh,
Cocaine
come
Bear
on.
writer Jimmy Warden is working on a horror comedy based on the Magic 8 Ball, and Blumhouse has the rights for it.
Jesus. I suppose yeah. I mean, it could be like a sort of kind of almost like Jumanji kind of vibes from it.
Uno. Though there isn't a plot in place at the moment, writer Marcy Kelly is tasked with writing a heist-inspired adaptation which she sets at the Atlanta hip-hop scene. Mattel passed by the general idea is still on the table. But the general
Do you know what would be I know it was obviously based on a book as well, but the game Mousetrap.
Oh!
I don't think there's been one that is, and it would be a horror movie because
Fucking
someone
love
would
that.
absolutely create it and go,
Can
now.
I...
Sure, the closest thing
Right.
to Mousetrap movie is probably Home Alone.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
That would be awesome. Can I throw in, while we're at it, Atmosphere as well, just as a film,
Yeah.
while we're talking about board games. But yeah. No, I love that, Duncan. That would be awesome. That works for me. Bob the Builder. That was a TV series before it was a toy, I think. Matchbox, already mentioned. Boglin's already mentioned. Viewmaster. There's a project in development, but no word.
That's the clicky stereoscopic 3D thing, wasn't it?
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
Oh, jeez, God. Right.
Bass fishing. That's it. Yeah.
Some of these, I'm guessing some of these are further into development than others.
I think it's sometimes people just buy properties just in case they can potentially turn it into something.
Yeah.
Like Barbie was already a pretty fucking massive property, wasn't it? Let's be honest. So like, you've already got something in line for that. So
The
So,
thing
yeah.
is, you can't do Heroes Quest because D&D movie saying
you
that.
absolutely could do Hero Quest. That's a really good idea.
Hero Quest would be awesome.
Yeah. I had Domino Rally as like an outside one as well.
Yeah.
But like, yeah.
I do Space Hulk. It'd just be aliens, but with Terminators.
Do 40k. Just all of 40k. You can do that. That's fine.
Why not do the entire Horus Heresy?
Yeah, just
Because that's
62
only
books
63.
worth of Horus Heresy, yeah.
This is a 400 movie franchise.
we
be
would
fair-
we would go and see it.
A lot of the books are just description. Horus stood there like the big dong Chad that he fucking is. It's like, and it's a lot of it's just basically find ways of saying that essentially. Beauty, unbeknownst to mortal man, Horus stood there as he murdered 6 million Space Marines or whatever it is. So yeah,
Yeah. I can't remember. I think it was Eons of Battle or one of the 40k YouTube people.
Yeah.
They sound like basically every Space Marines book is, hello, we're the Space Marines. Oh no, we're up against indomitable odds. We're never going to survive this. Oh wait, yeah, we did with the Space Marines.
that's why the ones with the humans are more interesting.
Yeah.
Because they're just a little guy.
It's a little guy.
Just a little
So
guy.
small.
Hey there, baby.
I tell you what, anyone that's vaguely interested in 40k lore, listen to Adeptus Ridiculous podcast. It is fucking phenomenal. But I've recommended 2 podcasts other than ours. You should listen to ours as well. But like, listen to the last podcast on the left. Listen to Adeptus Ridiculous. About the only 2 podcasts you'll need, in my opinion. And ours as well, obviously.
There's nothing worse than 40k lore that people are taking way too seriously.
Yeah, they do not do that.
Because they're just little guys.
It's just a little
With
guy.
glasses.
It's so cute as well. He's so small.
Hey, what are you doing
He's
there?
not a big guy.
No, he's not. He's just a little guy.
He's just a little guy.
He's just a little guy.
Just a little guy.
Hey there, baby. Hey, baby man.
Little baby man.
Just man.
Little baby man. Just a little guy.
What's he gonna do? Right, you lost me. Oh dear.
It's so funny. To be fair, they are absolutely right. He's one Inquisitor whose job it is to like sew the galaxy back together. Essentially,
No, it's not one Inquisitor. It's a group of Inquisitors. But I mean, they're still not going to do it. But it is a crazy job.
No, but that's the point. It's only one Inquisitor has been assigned to it with his rest.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, that's why he's just a
Oh,
little
right.
guy. That's where that whole thing comes from. How's he supposed to do that? I mean, how's he doing? I love it. Goes, well, how's he doing with this? Not well.
I thought they good. They do go. Just little guys.
No, he's just a little guy. He's one little guy. Because you got the main ones, which is like Audio Malleus. Fuck, I've forgotten all of them now. Malleus,
Ordo Herectus.
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 Ordo Xenos.
Ordo Xenos, yeah. And so like most Inquisitors are those, and then they have like random ones whose one job is to like stitch the entire fucking galaxy back together on his own, which is just hilarious, really. But so 40k. Yeah. Can't do it though because he's just a little guy. Little baby man. Little baby man.
You know what? The other one that would be a good film, The Resistance. If we're talking games, the Resistance. You have to figure out who's the spy.
Yeah, but that's been done, and it's called The Traitors on primetime BBC.
There you go.
Yeah, but you could set it in a dystopian future, and that would be
you can
Black
set
Box.
anything in a dystopian future. But it would basically be The Traitors, wouldn't it? Because that is all
Okay.
those games, like Werewolf or Wink Murder or whatever.
And also, if you set it in dystopian future, it's just fucking Blade Runner. Like, it's just the same thing of like them trying to decide whether they are humans or replicants or not.
All right. Well, someone would still do it. The other one would be Love Letters.
Okay, Love Letters would genuinely be brilliant.
It would be hilarious.
That would be.
I never understood that
Amazing.
game. It was weird.
It's fucking great. You're just trying to finger a princess. Like it's just.
It's the
That's what I
sweetest
got from
possible
it.
story.
Yeah, that's what I got from it anyway. And like, yeah, Love Letters would be fine.
It's basically the Super Mario movie.
Yeah.
It actually doesn't end with Mario finger banging Peaches.
Oh,
Is that about halfway through?
spoilers.
Is it?
It does finish quite weirdly and darkly. It's quite good. I will say I've now watched it twice, and it still kind of holds up.
I'd airfix the movie as well. Little planes coming to life.
Interesting, yeah.
Yeah, after they've been painted. And
Could you imagine
some
Tom's-
kind of task?
Could you imagine Tom's room where all the tanks just turn on each other?
Hey, Tom's doing me a favour.
Do
at
you
the moment, so
remember
I'll
that
not hear a
movie
bad word
Toy
said about him.
Soldiers?
Yeah.
Yeah,
It could be that kind of
Yeah.
because that was quite like
grim.
But you could have it a bit like Micro Machines where they're flying through the house, like trying to avoid like obstacles. And you could basically do Top Gun Maverick, but set in a
tiny.
house, but tiny. Yeah.
yeah.
The other one that would be similar to Micro Machines would be Scalextrics, but like you seriously have it as like because they're doing Gran Turismo.
I was about to say that's exactly what I was about to say, Duncan. I was about to say that sounds like bollocks, and then I remembered we are getting a Gran Turismo film in less than a week's time.
But
Yeah.
it's
So,
not
yeah.
like It's not an adaptation of the game, is it? It's a real life story that's been heavily
Well,
embellished to
it's-
make it cooler than it really was.
Yeah, it's about someone that played too much Gran Turismo and apparently became a racing driver.
I
Afterwards.
would like to see a real like intense driving racing game, but in the cockpit it's just a guy with a little thing, and that's how he drives the car.
We should do a video games adaptations one again because I was thinking Burnout Paradise would make a great like film as well.
Yeah.
We should do that separately though. I think maybe.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, we should probably think about bringing this one to a close at some point soon.
I mean, let's face it, the winner is Bull. Definitely the best movie. I think I'm going to write that now and quit my job.
Bull was my personal favourite as well.
Bull was definitely the winner.
Yeah.
Well done, Russ.
Yeah,
You
nice
can
one, Russ.
executive produce this.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I mean, it's probably the least commercially viable out of all of them, but sure.
I think at the very least we're getting a 5-minute advert from this.
I
Kind of
think
thing you'll skip on YouTube, but yeah.
I think Bull could have heartwarming thing. I think it would do well.
I think
and
it could
it's-
roll. I think we could roll with it. You know.
Oh, Jesus. think
I
on that
reckon we
note,
could
have
kick
to
it out
leave.
of the park.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah,
Back of the net.
a very well-rounded movie potentially.
Yeah, I think we could inflate it.
Come on, Russ, you can pump it up a bit more than that.
Yeah, I'm slightly
Already
worried we'll
done
balls
one.
it up though.
Right, come on, somebody get us out of here, please.
Right, we're wrapping things up. Thank you for listening to this here podcast and watching this here podcast. If you're listening to it, you'll have just listened to 6 or 7 more that I've finally put up in one big go. Apologies for that, but I've actually got a week off now, so I'm just going to be doing that this week. On top of which, I'm going to try and get our best movies of the year so far as a podcast with the Marveling Marvel lot. So we're going to, I think, go through our favourite films of the year that we've seen so far, because we've seen tons of crackers. It's been a really fucking good year for films so far. And see if we can get that up as well. So that would be fun. If you want to contact us, Discord's the best bet. So come into the Discord. If you go to the Instagram, it's in the bio. If you go to Twitter, it's the pinned tweet. Twitter is at TMTOOH.
It's not
Instagram's
Twitter
at
anymore, is it?
It's X.
If you're on X,
X
X.
is...
home
You
of the
don't tweet them, do you?
douchebags.
X
Yeah.
message. Do you do an X message?
Nobody knows. Nobody knows.
No one knows. He just
No one
changed
cares.
it
Almost
again.
like you should put more than 2 minutes thought into rebranding your company.
He's one of those cunts that thinks he's smart because he's had a thought, isn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah. He's like the Joe Rogan, you know, the alpha thinkers kind of like bollocks, the Andrew Tate cunts, that kind of thing.
Yeah, yeah, he's far too. Yeah, that's exactly what he is.
So yeah, that's on X. So just come join the Discord. It's the pinned tweet on the Twitter, which is just at
Please stop waving
the
that.
X, which is the at TMTOOH, and it's on the Instagram as well, which is at TMTOOH as well. Well, Instagram's 100% me, by the way. So if you're speaking to anyone and you hope to speak to Duncan, Russ, or Tom, you're shit out of luck. It's just me.
He won't let us have the password.
It's now just my Instagram, so like, just like I do everything from there. So fuck you guys, that's mine now. But if you want to speak to some of the others, Duncan, I think, is on there. Come join the Discord. It's where we have a lot of fun talking about all kinds of stuff. Message from Brookie666 Cookie. Wow, I'm assuming that's because we just put together one of the best podcasts of all time and put together one of the best movies of all time.
So
Ball.
Duncan waving around that massive.
Dildo like fucking whale or
Blurry
whatever
object.
it is.
Sperm whale. And if you have read the
Sperm whale sounds like the name of a dildo.
yeah, but
I
listen
bet,
to
I bet there
the
is one.
Tragedy of the Essex, which was again the last podcast on the left. I'm not going to plug them anymore.
They don't need it,
They
but
really
they
don't.
are
They're
really
not
fucking
struggling.
good. No, they do okay. Like, but they are really fucking good. So listen to their 6-part Manhattan Projects episodes. They're really good. Might better than Oppenheimer. Go see Barbie. It's fucking great. Like, genuinely fucking great. Go see Barbie.
Listen to Manhattan Project.
Yeah.
Watch Barbie.
Yeah, there you go. So if you've got 3 time for 3 things, 2 things out of 3, bin off Oppenheimer and listen to Manhattan Project and go see Barbie. then go see Oppenheimer is actually quite good as well. So then go see like Talk to Me as well. All that's quite good as well. So
Nice.
do what you want. I don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
It's
Sort
your
yourself
life.
out.
Yeah. With that, we are going to go now. Thank you very much, Ken. That's what I did there. Who am I talking to? Russ.
Well,
Ken.
everyone's Ken.
Yeah, you're all Ken. Yeah, you're also Ken. Duncan. Yeah.
Kenfetamine.
I don't know what that means.
Well, if you were
That-
natively Scottish, like Duncan definitely is, you would understand it.
You actually got it right. If you
It
don't
does
know
mean,
what I mean,
you know what I mean.
Ken
you know what I
Vitamine. No. What?
Kenfetamine. It's in from the northeast of Scotland. It means, do you know what I mean? Do you understand me?
No.
No.
Other Ken.
What's your I am Danu?
I'm Danuff.
Danu.
OUGH is the most ambiguously pronounceable collection of letters in the English language.
Like, surely you've seen the whole I am Kenuff thing.
It could all be Danow
No, I haven't seen I am Canuff.
or Danog.
It's whatever.
You have to go and see the Barbie movie.
Yeah, it's great. It's fucking great. Go see the Barbie film. Russ, Ken, even whatever.
Latest taters.
Laters, taters. Bye everyone. It's been fun. Something else I'm supposed to do? Oh, cue the music, I suppose. Oh, cue the music.